This game between Ahly and Al Hilal has the chance to be the biggest upset in African football for a very long time now. I know in the past few years, there's been some upsets, like when South Africa eliminated Morocco from the last AFCON, even when Equatorial Guinea dismantled Ivory Coast at home at the same AFCON, or even when Ghana lost at home in the World Cup qualifiers to Angola, which was their first home loss in about 30 years or so. But if Al Hilal really do the unthinkable, this upset will be bigger than all the others I've mentioned. I don't know what I'm doing. Since 2019, when Ahly got a 5-0 defeat to Mamelodi Sundowns in Pretoria, they've been to the final of every single edition of the Champions League. So 2020, they played the final, winning against Zamalek. 2021, they won against Kaizer Chiefs. In 2022, they lost the final to Wydad Casablanca. In 2023, they came back to win the final against Wydad Casablanca. In 2024, they won the trophy again against Esperance. So 2025, Ahly will want to reach the final again, surely. But here is the catch. So no team has been able to win the Champions League back to back to back. And the best you can do is back to back, and then another team wins it. So it's a gray area where they want to break that jinx, and the team possibly to stop them can be Al Hilal. But what is the story of Al Hilal to this stage? So from 2020, they decided to invest in their team to bring quality players. It was a year-on-year plan to bring quality players every season in a bid to win the Champions League. So they brought a player like Bakabi Lilipo from DR Congo into their team. They also brought in Lamine Jaju. He was the best player in Senegal, so he was brought into the Hilal team. They even brought on Fabrice Ngoma to Hilal. They brought in Ibrahim Moro, who was one of the best players in Ghana, into the team. So, and to top it all off, they had this man, Florent Mbenge, who was brought on freshly after winning the CAF Confederations Cup with that is RS Berkane. So it was a big project, but for the next 5 years, they failed to go out of the group stage in all of the Champions League. 2020, group stage elimination. 2021, group stage. 2022, group stage. 2023, group stage. 2024, group stage. But then, war happened in Sudan. And after the war happened in Sudan, about half of the players they brought in, they invested in, all left because football stopped for a while after the war happened. There was uncertainty, so the players even didn't know where their career was going. So they had to leave, and about half of them left. But surprisingly, after losing about half of their investment and also football stopping in Sudan, not playing football at home, that was the time they began to shine. And in the 2025 season, they finished top of their group to qualify to the Champions League quarterfinal. So that's their story to where they are now. And now in the quarterfinal, they must go through Al Ahly, the last two winners of the Champions League. The first leg ended in a 1-0 victory for Al Ahly, but then the Ahly team are very angry, very furious because they know what happens when they play against Hilal, the sort of how close the contest is. So the past 4 games these two sides have played in the home of Al Hilal, Hilal have won 2, and then the other 2 has been a draw. So with a 1-0 advantage, Ahly know that they cannot afford to sort of let their guards down in this game because Hilal knows how to beat them. But one aspect of this game where I feel we are going to lose a lot is if this game was really happening in Sudan, in Omdurman, I'm sure the fans would have painted the stadiums all blue to sort of cheer their team on. And even if it didn't happen in Sudan because of the war, it could have happened in Libya because we've seen the Sudan national team play in Libya. They played to a full crowd, 4 days. There's a huge Sudanese population in Libya to cheer them on. But unfortunately, this game will happen in Mauritania. Well, yes, they have some numbers there also in Mauritania, but wouldn't be as much as it would have been in Libya if they played that game in Libya. But they also see another advantage for Hilal in this game because they're going to play the game on the AstroTurf, artificial pitch for that is Mauritania, in Nouakchott in Mauritania. So Ahly are used to playing on the natural gas, the natural pitch in Cairo. So it's a new area for that is Ahly in this game. And it's also be to the advantage of that is the Al Hilal team. Already in the first league, we had this guy, Jean-Claude Mugisha, who was terrific in the game. And he's even better playing on the AstroTurf. So it looks like Hilal will really be all out to fight against Al Ahly in this game. So my prediction, can Hilal do the impossible? Can they really do the impossible? I think for the first time in a very long time now, I will not predict on this one because I think it's going to be a close one. I don't think Ahly will easily run away with it. I think it's going to be a close one. And I cannot predict, but I think it's going to be a close one. That's all I can say. But also in Morocco, this man is one person I wouldn't want to be. Alexander Santos, the coach of that is ASFAR Rabat from Morocco. So he was appointed coach of ASFAR in February 2025, so just 2 months ago. And in his first Champions League game, he played against Pyramids, which was the quarterfinal, and lost by 4 goals to 1. But now ASFAR have the advantage to play the next game at home in Morocco. But unfortunately for them, because of renovations work happening in Morocco, or the AFCON, their home stadium is not available. Their original home stadium is not available for this game. So they'll travel to another city, Mekni, in that is Morocco, the Stade d'Honneur in Morocco to play that game there. 25,000 capacity stadium. So for Pyramids, it was a stroll in the park in their Champions League game against ASFAR, mainly because of defensive errors, because ASFAR committed a lot of defensive errors in that game, which aided Pyramids to get a comfortable 4-1 victory. And in terms of quality, this Pyramids team have it all. I mean, Ramadan Sobi is like one of the best players in Africa right now. They do have Blati Toure, Burkina national team player, Fiston Mayele, DRC national team player, Ibrahim Mandel, Egypt national team player. I mean, there's a lot of quality in this Pyramids team. But then one thing that lacks for them is the soul, the fans, the spirits of the club, because this is even their first game in the knockout stages of the Champions League. So this is a club with no history, not a lot of fans. If you watch the first leg games, it was only their game that had a very low turnout, very low turnout. Look at this, even this picture here. The background, there was literally nobody in the background, nobody, empty stands in the background. So the club lacks that bit, but in terms of quality on the pitch, they have it all. But their opponent, ASFAR, is the opposite. So ASFAR is a historical club. This is a club that has the history of success. We have the fans, a lot of fans, and even in this game at the start, we are anticipating the game has been sold out. Yes, the game has been sold out. So full capacity stadium to try and cheer their fans on to victory. But can they do it? Can they do the turnover in Morocco? I think if you look at the quality of Pyramids, the only thing that ASFAR has over them is the fans, the fan culture, and how the fans will really come and play their part. And I'm sure the 12-man will play their bit in this game, but will it be enough to overturn a 4-1 deficit? I don't really think so. But I think ASFAR will win this game. But to qualify, I think Pyramids will qualify to the next stage. You can also let me know your thoughts about these two games, who qualifies, in the comment section.